Hey guys, welcome back to Getting There. It's the next morning. We watched those football games last night. With a Michigan game. Michigan game turned out great, as everybody would know. That was great to see. Totally unexpected, but freaking awesome. West Virginia game, not so much. Another big disappointment. I'm a huge Mountaineers fan, as any native West Virginian is. I was all on board, man. I've been on the trust the climb train for the entire time, and I really like Neil Brown. I think he's a good coach. I really like his personality, his attitude, the way he, I don't know. I like the guy. I was really hoping for great things with him, but it's just not materializing, and this has just been putting off the inevitable. He's got to go. We won't get into all that. I think that's pretty much, if you know anything about Mountaineer football, you know he's just got to go, whether you like him or not. And I do. He's just not the right fit for what we're doing, what we're trying to do, what we're trying to accomplish, kind of football program that we are normally in general, or what we can be, what we have been. But we're regressing. It's taken a long time for West Virginia football to climb up to and get back into being an elite program. At least a top tier program like we used to be. But anyway, I could go on for hours on that. It's time to move on from him. So I'm pretty sure I can't see how we won't see something over the weekend or first of the week, probably first of the week realistically, that they're going to be releasing him as a coach, to put it nicely. I don't know about anybody else, but I am crossing my fingers for Jimbo Fisher to come home to West Virginia, Clarksburg native. His name speaks to, you don't have to, he needs no introduction. He knows how to win championships. He knows how to build winning programs. And I don't know the possibilities of it, but that's what I'm hoping for. Anyway, that game did not go as planned. I didn't even finish watching the freaking game. I got into the end of the third quarter, and it was I think it was 42-3 still, I think. I said, I can't take this anymore, so I turned it off and went to bed. But I just looked up what the final score was to see if it was worth watching the last quarter or not, but it was not. So anyway, I'm back out here today in the barn. I did switch gears from that headache rack that I had on. I have another one that's the exact same, just doesn't have the bed rails on it. I got looking at it, like, man, I got to change every single thing about those bed rails on that rack. So I'm just going to take this other one that's the same headache rack and put it on for now, and then I'll just build new bed rails for it later. I don't need them right now. The other one just already had it, But I had to change everything about it. So why do all that? Why not just put this one on for now? Get a headache rack on it. I can still throw a toolbox on it. I just won't have the bed rails right now, and then later on I'll build a set of bed rails for it. So that's what I'm going to do. So I brought the other one in, took that one back out, brought the other one in, and just had to loosen the bolts and widen the little bed rails that go into the toolbox, mounted to the bed. Just had to widen those out a little bit. Now I'm going to mount it. I got some strap. It's like 1/4 by 2, but I'm gonna cut 2 pieces. One here, like about 2.5 inches long. Excuse me. To make I'll draw a hole, a 1/2 inch hole in it, and weld a nut to it, and then I can turn it upside down, put it in the stake pocket, and then bolt down through the top of the headache rack. It'll make anyway, that's how I'll do the front, and the back I'll just drill through the bed, and on the bottom side of the bed rail, I'll cut a piece of this as well, drill through it to create, so I'm not just bolting into that thin bed rail, the bed material. But anyway, so we'll cut up a few of these, make a few of these, get it ready, and get that thing bolted down. Then we're all done with it. Truck's done for now. So, but anyway, I'm gonna get working on this, and then we'll move over there and start. Well, we'll go to the drill press next and drill some holes and stuff, but then we'll move over there and start putting it together. there's my bed pocket ones. Now let's do some, I don't know, maybe like a couple 6 inches or so. Let's see, here are 2 for the bed pockets. Let's go make sure they fit in there. Get an idea where we're gonna drill our holes at. But same with this, we'll see where we want these to be, mark them, take them over to the drill press and drill them. So these are just gonna go, let's see, this. Oh, that's gonna work nicely. Okay, so I can drill these wherever because this moves a little bit. This right here slides, and the hole in the bottom is also slotted. So these can go wherever. All right, and then the back ones. So anyway, these will go, the longer ones. I'm glad I looked at that. That's not gonna work. Oh, that's double layered. Shit. Here's one. Oh, that's going all the way down on it. No, we can make that work. We can make that work. We just don't do them that long, but I'll just cut one. I'll cut one in half, and we'll have 2 then. Or we only use one of these, cut in half. Okay, all right. All right. Yeah, I gotta put this baby in. Yeah, I know. It's quite a wussy drill press, but you know what? That's what I got right now. I need to replace it with a nice big real one, but this works just fine for now. All right. Now I think. All right, so I need to stagger this hole. I'm going to do the 2 stake pocket ones first. They need to be a little bit inward. I think. Yeah. Well, it doesn't really matter, I guess. If anything, a little more inward than out. So I'll stagger them off center just a little bit. This way doesn't matter, I don't think. No. Well, actually, I better look at that. I'm not sure if it does or not. No, that won't matter because once this is down inside of the pocket, it can slide toward the back of the bed or forward a little bit. But so yeah, that'll work. 3/8 hole first, and then we'll take a 1/2 inch through it. All right, there's one. I cut that one in half to make 2 for the back, shorter ones for the back of the rack. I just picked up one of those and pre-drilled it for the front, but it does not matter at all where those holes are. So I'm gonna go into the other one real quick. It just be wherever in this thing, centered this way for the most part, but it could be wherever this way. So I'm gonna go do that one. These will be for the back then, because my 2 shorter ones right here are the ones for the front. So. Well, it's not done, but 3/8 hole's done it. Let's do these 2 real quick, and then we'll switch over to the 1/2 inch bit. All right, one more to go. All right. Switch over to the 1/2 inch drill bit and see if it's sharp enough to bring these holes out. All right, moment of truth. Let's see, do the 2 shorties. Yep. Do the 2 shorties first for the front. Not that it matters at all. Not looking good for this bit. All right, let's see if we have any other 1/2 inch bits, because I don't have the patience for that. Okay, good news is I've got 3 other 1/2 inch bits and a 14 millimeter one. Clearly that's bigger, but for what we're doing it wouldn't matter. Bad news is I don't know if any of these are any sharper than this piece of junk that's in here. I'm gonna look one more spot real quick. Nope, there was nothing over there either, so we will switch this bit out with one of these, just a crapshoot on which one's any better than the others. We'll look at them and see which one looks the best, but that doesn't always mean anything. There. Honestly, none of them look very good, but let's try this one. All right, lock it down. Oy. Not much better, but getting through this one. I'll switch it to the next one, try one of the other bits. Well, we got through it. That wasn't very, that one's done at least. So let's try. Let's get the other one in place. Oh, all right, come on, Justin. I think I'm gonna try a different bit, but I know this one works. Worst case scenario, I can still use this one, but see if one of these other ones work a little bit better. Nice. Awesome. All right, we found one that works. All right, drilling's done. Thankful to a getting lucky and found a good bit. So now we got to figure out: do we want to weld the nut to the bottom of one of these and run the bolt down through this way, or do I want to weld the bolt up through it, stick it up through? I don't know. We'll figure that out. Let's go check it out. All right, so I got looking at it, and I think we're going to end up going. We're going to weld the bolt up through this. I'll run a nut down. I'll put the bolt up through. Run a nut all the way down. Hold it tight. Turn it over in the vise. Weld it. Cut the bolt off the height that we need. We'll figure that out and cut it off the height we need because there's the headache rack mount is a C channel. So we can't be too long. We'll hit this. It needs to be just enough to where we can, anyway. So we'll figure that out and cut it off. And then we can just put this down in the stake pocket and hold it up by the bolt so I get my finger. Anyway, I think that's what we'll do though. So let's get working on that. I gotta clean this up a little bit so we can weld to it and everything. Get my bolts over here, get the welder set up, blah, blah, blah. Excuse the sniffling. I've been fighting the cold for about 2 freaking weeks now and about got her whipped, but she's still hanging on there a little bit. And it's cold as heck out here, so. Because of the paint on the piece of flat bar that I'm welding, so it's kind of keeping a good ground from getting from the vise. Bar. All I had to do was stop, take the grinder, and clean up the edge of it. A little overkill, but that's okay. That pissed me off, isn't it? Oh, better place the ground. Let's try that. All right. Something that really irks me, and I find myself doing it and I really get mad about it. Is like that right there. Didn't have a good ground because of the paint on the piece of flat bar that I'm welding. So it's kind of keeping a good ground from getting from the vise to that piece of bar. All I had to do was stop, take the grinder, and clean up the edge of it, have a perfect ground, and welds wouldn't look like crap. You know what I mean? But I didn't. I just kept, I was burned through it. We get the ground, it'll burn. And it does. That's just freaking laziness, I hate when these things like that, and it makes me chuckle because as I am doing it, I'm thinking, I'll just stop and clean that up. And then I just keep welding. It's just, I don't know. Well, like I said, kind of the point of this whole freaking channel, you know, is just being real. We're using a junky, hairy homeowner drill press over here that I've had for a bazillion and a half years because it still works. It doesn't work very well, but it's frustrating. But it drilled these holes, you know? And doing it with a pile of bits that some are in my toolbox, but some are, majority of them are on a shelf over in one of the big cabinets just laying there. Some bits are new, some are older than I am. You kind of just go through it until you find a bit that works. Point being, it's real, right? This is probably the stuff that if we're willing to admit it, a bunch of us do this. Maybe the majority. If you don't do this for a living, or you know, if this shop's not my livelihood or nothing, this is just my shop. So I bet, and I could be wrong, but I would bet that more people, just real people, do the same dumb stuff like this that I'm talking about. And maybe not, I could be wrong. But it's, you know, don't have all the right tools for the right job, and you kind of just make do with what you have. I'm freaking freezing out here. And, you know, stuff just, it's frustrating to me personally, you know, in the moment, but also it's like I've talked about before, it's real. I think this is a lot more real and you know, the average Joe working in your barn kind of thing than, you know, heated, fully insulated, heated work out here in your t-shirt in the winter with all the best tools and the right tools for everything. You know, I'm digging through a bench over here. I'll turn you around and show you that for a second. That bench over there against the wall where that light is, that's just an old work table that is just chock full and piled of bins of bolts, coffee cans of bolts, old toolboxes of washers, just random, you know, not any kind of organization to it at all. Heck, I could take you over there now and show on the back bench by an old chainsaw I have that I bet there's still chicken poop back there on the top shelf of that, because a couple chickens were, well, a bunch of chickens were getting out for a little while and roosting in here. I didn't know it for a while, but for a little bit they were getting out and coming in here and roost at night. And I go over there one day to get some hearts, find some bolts or nuts or whatever. I was working on something, and there's freaking chicken crap back there on the back bench. I bet you it's still back there. But you know what? Like I said, it's real. And yes, of course, that's one of my priorities in here is I want to get all my hardware completely all cleaned up in there, organized, off there all together. I want to put some shelf, or I have a metal shelf over here I'd like to use for it, but maybe put some additional shelving up, or just find a spot for hardware. I just haven't got to it yet. So it's still over there in a pile in different random containers that I got to dig through, dump out, sort through to find a freaking nut or bolt that I need. If it's not just a standard, you know, 3/8 bolt or nut, or, you know, just the common size that I have some bins of. But that's real. As frustrating as it is for me in the moment, like this deal right here, it's real. Dead batteries, you know what I mean? It's cold out here and I've got all these batteries and stuff, but 90% of them they're usually dead when you need them. Same thing, just real, but it's still frustrating. So anyway, I guess I'm done on that for a minute. I'm gonna go over here and measure how long we need to cut this bolt off so it'll go through the pocket and up through the C channel on the headache rack, but not be too tall to hit the top leg of the C channel, so I can get those mounted. I'll go ahead and get those measured and cut, these two cut, and where's that one go? Oh, here. And then we can actually, well, I can't mount them because I want to drill the front holes, but anyway, those will be done, and then we can do the same thing. The back ones, I think I'm going to bolt. Yeah, I think I'm going to bolt them. I don't know, we'll see. I might do them the same way, I guess. We'll see. But anyway, let's do these first. All right, so it looks like 1 3/4 inches is what we want from the plate right here. So I'm going to take and just measure. Put a mark at 1 3/4 inches. That off. Sorry guys, it's freaking cold. Whew. All right, then I'll take and I can run this nut out. Yep, perfect. I'll leave it on there for now, but Just ran it out to make sure that the threads were clear from cutting it. That down, pick this one up, do the same thing. Quarter. There's the two front ones. Now we can take and I think, let's clean this up first to rag the oil off it, some of it. Look what I'm going to do after that little rant there. I'm going to clean the edge of this off for a good ground on my bike. Take one, put it in the vise. It's oh, I need to put a nut in. Well, let's clean that up first. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and weld these on, just stick them up through the bottom, just like the front ones. There's no reason not to. I think that'll be the easiest. I'm not sure what the length of these will be because that's double. It may not even cut it at all, but that's double walled. There's like just if I were just to guess, feeling it, maybe like a half 3/4 inch, half inch gap, 3/4 inch gap between the top the bed rail you see and where the inner bed rolls up around, comes around and pinch welds to it. There's probably like I said, a half 3/4 inch gap there. Okay. These, what I'll be cutting them off yet at. Leave them there for a minute. Alright, I know you don't have great perspective there, but that's what I have to do. I don't want these way in here where this existing hole is, so I'm going to take and make a new one back here, right at the back. So, left and right, I need to do a hole out here. I guess we'll pull this off, transfer these marks to the bottom. I really don't need to pull it off. I can just flip it upside down right here in the truck. So I'm going to use the battery drill anyway. Drill those, then mark down through that hole onto the bedside, pull it off, drill those. I think that's how we'll do it. And hopefully it works this way on the top of the bed rail, so there's not a lot of room underneath for this to move this way. All right, let's flip it over. All right, let me go get a drill bit and the drill, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I don't know if this is the same bit I had in the drill press that we were using for the flat plate, but I don't know if it'll drill through this. It's really thin, but without a pilot hole, but we'll see. If not, I brought the 3/8 bit for a pilot if I need it. Nice. Let's try this one. Then I can mark the holes in the bed where they need to be. May not be as easy as it looks because this thing's gonna be hot, I think. That's just finger tight, so I can get the other one started. Nice. That worked out really well. Alright, that's a little bit tighter, still just finger tight. tight, but a little tighter. So here to there. Super technical way. You can do 1.5 inches there also. Yeah, 1.5 inches. All right. Nice, nice. All right. This side, then we'll get a wrench. Dang, we're looking pretty good. 3/4 inch ratchet wrench. I left this bolt a little bit high, so when I tightened it up, it pulled it up closer to the top of the C channel, so I couldn't get the box into the wrench out. And I'll do the back. All right. Now we can take the backwards. Smushing the bed side down a little bit. That's okay, good and tight. Do the other side. All right, sweet. Oh, that ain't going nowhere. Well, for now, we are done with this thing. Like I said, I want to find a bed mat for it. I want to, I'm going to build a set of bed rails, top rails right here for the full length of the bed. I want to find the right box for in here that I want. And I also want to put some, a work light, like a work light here and a work light over there. I want to switch, just so I can turn on the shine out, you know, all back here for work and whatever, just, but yeah. So, but for now, she's done. I'll clean up all the tools and put the tailgate up, and then we'll, I'm not going to put the other flare on because I only have one, so I do have to find another flare. I'll find one of those this week. I'll grab one of those somewhere in the junkyard or something and put the back flares on. And then we will tackle the front fenders here in another weekend or two, whatever, no big deal. We'll get those knocked out sooner than later, but I'm not real too concerned about that right this minute. That's gonna be a little bit more of an ordeal, I think, with all the crap mounted to the inside of the fender, the inner fender wells, and then getting it all lined back up just right so that it don't mess up the doors and blah blah blah. But she's ready for work tomorrow, so we'll like I said, get everything put away, and we got to run out and fill this thing up with fuel. I did not, I'm sure you noticed, but I did not end up putting a new sending unit in the tank while I had the bed off. It was like a week long, like a 4 or 5 day wait time on it, and I couldn't wait that long for it. I gotta have this thing this week for work, so no big deal. Like I said, I'll get one and then I'll have it, and then when I pull the bed back off, I'll just already have it. So in the meantime, we'll just keep this baby full of fuel and yeah, put her back to work. I'll touch back in or check back in here in a little bit when we go get some fuel. All right, guys. I ran to town, got a few things for tomorrow. I needed a bunch of cut-off wheels. I ran out, never seemed to remember to order any when I'm getting low. But anyway, so I ran to town and grabbed a few to get me through tomorrow. We got everything done with the truck. Everything worked out great. Bed didn't rattle around. all the lights worked. Tailgate works good. So happy with that. Finished what I wanted to finish with this thing for the week. Got everything put away from working on this. Threw all my work, threw a bunch of work crap in here I need for tomorrow that I had in here before I took it all out to change the beds. So anyway, tomorrow we will head down to the barn we're building. Well, not really a barn, it's a shop, pole barn frame shop, but head down to the job site tomorrow, get a good jump back on that for the week. Get some of that knocked out over the next couple of days. Try to get all the siding steel on, and it got so cold on us. My concrete guys couldn't pour last week while I was gone. They put concrete blankets down, and it's all ready, but we need a warm day or two to be able to pour it. So I figure, if nothing else, if we can't pour before, I'll get all the siding steel on. I was going to wait until after the floor was poured, but I'll get all this, we'll get all the siding steel on, and I can plastic the doors. It just has one entry door in the front and then the man doors. We can plastic those off and throw some heat in that thing to be able to pour it regardless. That doesn't really help on the approach, but we'll figure that out. Let's get the barn figured out first, or maybe we'll get lucky and get it a warm day or two to be able to pour it all. But anyway, so tomorrow is the start of another week. Just get plucking away at some of this stuff. This time of year is always harder to get things done. It's way less efficient with the freezing temperatures and all that. But it's the same every year. We know this coming into this time of year. So just try to get done what we can, pluck away at it, and keep moving on. So we got a few other projects around here we're going to tackle throughout the week in the evenings. If my work week doesn't beat me down too hard each day, I'll pluck away at a couple things. I want to pull the Freightliner in here. I've got a tire on the back that leaks down. It comes off the bead after sitting for a while, and I haven't run that truck in a little while, so I want to get it poured in here, get that tire pumped back up, just go through the truck a little bit, do a few little things on that. Get it hooked back up to the big trailer, the drop deck. Get that ready to move some equipment and do some things. I got to haul some logs and stuff with it here, maybe possibly coming up on a clearing job, so we'll see how you get it ready for that though. I am considering listing that truck for sale. I'm not sure yet. We'll just see. I'm not sure yet. But anyway, get it pulled in here, hopefully this week. Do a little bit of work to it. And then the other thing after that, well, maybe not after that, but another thing I'd like to keep plucking away at this week, get back on, is this truck here. I call it the wood truck, but the 84 Ford, the 250 that I've got the front clip off up right here behind you. Fenders over here for it, primed up. Hood is there. I got all the parts for it. Oh, I need doors, but I've got the front clip all for it. It's a little cold. Well, it's way too cold to be painting the fenders and priming and painting the hood and stuff like that. But I thought, you know what? Maybe I'll just go ahead and stick the primed fenders on, and then I can start putting the front clip back together, and I can always paint the truck, a little bit later. I'm not getting crazy on this thing. It's just a, like I said, I call it the wood truck because that's what I use it for. But I'm fixing this one up to sell, so I'm just gonna make it a nice little, a beater running driving project kind of truck. I had all the good body parts for it, so I'm putting it together so that way that part's done and someone can just kind of finish it how they want, or just keep it like it is. It's a good running driving truck. It's a good truck. So anyway, I'd like to get back on that here and there because it's taking up room in the shop right here. If I get the front clip back on it and everything, then I can pull it out of the barn. I don't have to have it sitting in here. So that's kind of my thought process on that. I can pull it in and out and work on it as I have time, but it won't be tying up the shop. So if I need to move something big in here, or I need a little more room to work on a couple things in here, it's not tying up the space. So that's kind of my thought process on that one. But that's not a priority either. So it may not get any attention this week because we do have some other things we have to, focus on. But hopefully coming up in a couple of weeks, we'll start freeing up a little bit of time, wrapping up some of these other projects, these jobs, and be able to kind of slow down a little bit more into winter mode, barn mode, start working on the barn itself a little more. A little more of our work will be not so much excavating, well, yeah, some excavating work, but site work, clearing work, stuff like that, to where it's not quite as time consuming for me. I'll just go jump on a piece of equipment and we'll work for, however long during the day we can, and as temperatures and weather allows us to. We get stupid snow coming, or a bunch of snow, or a hard freeze, or whatever. I don't like to run the equipment real hard when it's real cold. It's just hard on everything. So we get some of these building projects, these building jobs that we're doing done, and then we can kind of work around the weather, and that'll give me more time in the shop and focus on things like this Ford here, the wood truck, to start wrapping that project up, or at least getting it to a place where I can move it around. Like I said, I know it's a tall order right now, but I really want to try to get like the ceiling in the barn, at least get working on that, get doors on the back, or I may even just close that off temporarily just block them off, plywood it over for right now, just keep it closed in here. I do have a big torpedo heater back here that my brother-in-law gave me a couple years ago, and it just needs an igniter in it, so I might just go and order that igniter, and if I get the doors closed off in the back, I can start blasting some heat in here just right on just while I'm working, right in the area I'm working. So that would be a good idea. Maybe we'll start there. That's a good little realistic, quick thing I can do. But yeah, so I threw all my tools on this. The weekend's officially over. Back to work tomorrow. We'll see how the week goes. So thanks for hanging out with us this weekend and with me. It was just me in the shop this weekend. Thanks for hanging out though, and we will catch up throughout the week. Thanks.